What is up, guys? Garter House here, and yes, we're doing a Resident Evil video. I've been asked to do this. I've been asked my input on this. I've been asked to do a react video to the trailer, even though like I'm more or less done with the series. But I decided to just do it, just freaking do it, and see if this one will help rekindle my interest in the series. And for those of you new here, I have played every single game in the series. I have read both Heavenly Island and Mahara Desire, and I've read most of the files in the series. But disclaimer, my knowledge of the series has atrophied quite a bit because I haven't been really hardcore into the series for a very, very long time. If you don't believe I've played every single game in the series, I do have a let's play of pretty much every single game on my channel, and also have a video containing, or a couple of videos containing my Resident Evil collection back in the day. But anyway, I'm going to try my best with this and see what we can figure out. I was somewhat able to figure out Spencer's connection in Village, so let's see if I can hit the nail on the head with this one, with trying to figure out what the heck's going on with this one. I don't think this one is predictable because everything just seems really random. I've already seen the trailer, but yeah, let's. All right, so the computer thing, I almost let it like keep going, but that does feel like very that feels very Resident Evil 1. Like just take when she's typing and just put uh freaking Chris's voice over it, or Charlie, put Charlie's voice over it, and this straight up just Resident Evil 1. But I do like that this seems to be like people are being randomly infected with some kind of something and they're just dying like that instead of actually being ripped apart or whatever. So it seems like whoever is behind this one is trying to figure out some kind of something, and they're just infecting random people until they figure out what the heck they're trying to do. All right, so Alyssa does like they tried to make her look like the PS2 model or resemble the PS2 model. And I think they did a pretty good job because she has like the thin, I don't know what this called is called on your nose, but this is like thin, is this part is thin and it's kind of like out there, so it's very defined. Her lips are thin. It looks pretty similar. Like I would say that yeah, they did a good job on that. Alyssa was murdered. Updated Alyssa Almissa.
That's where your mother was murdered.
Now, I don't know if I said it, but I've already seen this trailer. But I would have preferred if they didn't kill Alyssa and this game was actually you're playing as Alyssa through the whole game, because I don't know if I've said it on my I Give Up video, but one of my major issues with the series is that they keep introducing new protagonists instead of using old protagonists. I kind of accepted it with 7 because it's like a soft reboot, and I came to like Ethan a lot because the consistency with the storytelling was really, really good, and Village made me like his character a lot more. But I feel like since his story was done, I expected them to go back to legacy characters, and they did, but they really didn't because now we have a brand new protagonist, and the legacy character, which I would have preferred to be the main character, is dead. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to play, or probably won't even be able to play as Alyssa, because the snippets that they show us, it looks like we're following Alyssa. So it looks like we're playing as Grace, and we're just following Alyssa around, and Alyssa's trying to keep us safe from whatever the heck is going on during their investigation. And yeah. Okay.
That's where your mother was murdered.
Time to stop on this guy. So this person, I have one theory. Like, I think that this could be Wesker. Well, two theories. I think it's either Wesker or just a random person, a random infected, special infected. But if it is Wesker, which I know is like cheesy if it is Wesker, we have to look at like Death Island, and we have to look at like let me see, Resident Evil 2 remake, where they did like some changes. Like, let me think of one. I could be wrong because it's been, like I said earlier, like my knowledge of the series is not as good as it used to be because I've been out for so long, so my brain just kind of like discards stuff. But correct me if I'm wrong. In Resident Evil 2 original, Ada gets Sherry's pendant, and it has a tissue sample in it, and that tissue sample is the G virus sample. And then we fast forward to the rail shooter, Death's Door, where Ada is about to be left in a city because Wesker is not happy with her progression with trying to acquire the G virus. She actually, I think she shows that she has the pendant, and then Wesker decides to save her. So Wesker points her to where there's a case and there's the hook shot inside of it. So she gets that and she escapes with the Umbrella executive at the end of Death's Door. So then fast forward to RE2 remake, instead of the pendant having the tissue sample, I think the pendant has like a key or something, and then she uses that to get the sample instead. So they made like that little change. And then we have Death Island, where we have Jill as a completely different character now, which is in contrast, a stark contrast to the original one, where the original Jill was more like warm, loving, motherly, kind of crude, and then the new one's very aggressive, angry, angsty, whatever. I don't like the new one, but the difference there is that there's a note in Resident Evil Revelations 2 email. I think it's like Barry or Jill emailed to Barry or something like that, where Jill is like, she pretty much got over everything that happened in most of what happened in RE5, and she's very happy and eager to come back and finish her work or finish going and stopping bioterrorism and stuff like that. So once you get to Death Island, that the Death Island Jill contradicts the note that is in Revelations 2. So when it comes to, I think there's two different things, there's two different timelines. So there's the original timeline with the original Resident Evil games, and there's the new timeline. So if this is Wesker, I think that in Resident Evil 5, which hasn't been out, the Resident Evil 5 remake that hasn't come out yet, I think in Resident Evil 5 remake, instead of Wesker falling into freaking lava and being shot with two RPGs, which is freaking ridiculous, something else happens and he gets really messed up instead. And Chris and Sheva thinks he's dead, but he's not actually dead, and he's brought back somehow, but maybe Brandon Bailey or something, and he's working with Brandon Bailey or some other organization to pretty much just start over again because he's really messed up, and he could be working with this other organization to figure out how to rejuvenate his body, and he could be using research left over by Alex Wesker or something like that to try to figure out what to, or try to use the leftover research for the rejuvenation virus that Alex Wesker was working on, that she abandoned, and she also abandoned Spencer and left his ass to die. Maybe he could have picked up on that, and he's trying to continue that, and that's why random people are being infected and killed in this new Resident Evil, and that's why he looks like this, and he's trying to figure out how to get this to work. And once he figures out how to get it to work, he's going to inject himself, and he's going to be Wesker again. And Brandon Bailey or whoever else is helping him in this one could also want that to rejuvenate their bodies or something. And they took Alyssa or Grace's special blood, because keep in mind that they were infected with the daylight vaccine. So they probably have special blood as well. And that special blood could help make this new rejuvenation virus better. I don't know. I kind of got ahead of myself there and started talking because I've seen this before, but I don't know. That's the one theory I have for this guy. Another one, like I said, he's probably some random henchman.
Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past.
And
Alyssa died 8 years ago.
so you see these scenes.
Alyssa died 8 years ago.
I don't know, I hate how it's so fast. So it looks like they're running. So it looks like Alyssa's pulling Grace. So I don't think you actually play as Alyssa in this game. Maybe you do. This is just probably just an earlier scene where, or this could be first you play as Alyssa and then you meet up with Grace and then this happens. So maybe you do play as Alyssa, maybe you don't. But this is clearly like Alyssa's running and she's pulling someone. It seems like. So you probably won't even play as her.
Perhaps it's time for you to
She's pulling Grace.
face the past.
So here it looks like they're doing surgery. So this is like part of my tangent. Like I started just going because I was. So they're doing something. They're doing surgery on somebody.
Grace.
Probably Grace. It's probably Grace or Alyssa. So I think that, like I said earlier, they just took their blood and used their blood. They pulled a Resident Evil 5 where Wesker was going to kill Jill. He was going to inject her with the Ouroboros virus and see and was going to see what happens. But then he figured out that she had special T virus. She had the T virus in her blood. It was just dormant. So he decided to just take that and make the Ouroboros better, and kept her around as like a puppet because he needed her blood. So that's probably the same thing that's happening here, minus the mind control.
What is this? Hey!
Now, when I saw this for the first time, I thought this was the Spencer Mansion in RE5. I thought this was one of the hallways. Like maybe they went back to the Spencer Mansion, but it probably isn't. It's probably just a hotel. But if it is the Spencer Mansion from 5, they actually went back and did something. I don't know. That would be cool.
Stay close. They're coming.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. Special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
All right. So this person, I have 2 theories on this person. Actually, 3. So first, I want to start. It could be just a random new bad guy. Next, it could be Spencer. Maybe Spencer survived somehow in 5 in both the remake and the original. So if there is going to be a 5 remake, but if that is Wesker, the dude with the rain jacket, if that is Wesker, then there probably is going to be a 5 remake. But this guy, if he is Spencer, um, only thing I can really think of is that when him and Patrick were doing the thing, trying to figure out this new virus because like I said earlier, Alex was trying to work on some kind of virus for Spencer to make him like rejuvenate his body. And she ended up betraying him and leaving him and taking all of the people that were helping her make his virus to rejuvenate his body. She ended up doing everything she did in Revelations 2, everything she did in Heavenly Island, and other random stuff that we don't know about, probably. But Patrick and Spencer, I think, has like an act of desperation. They tried to uh continue that research some way, and that's how we got the Guardian in Resident Evil Lost in Nightmares. Resident Evil 5 Lost in Nightmares, we got those Guardian things that drag that little anchor around, and they one shot you when they pick you up. And also those people that just jump out the water and stuff and just grab you. So he tried to do his own rejuvenation virus and it didn't work, or so we think. So maybe it ended up being like another Resident Evil 1 situation where when the Wesker killed his ass, the virus activated and he came back to life. Maybe it actually worked. And all it needed was the trigger, which was him dying. So when he died, it could have just brought him back to life, made him younger, somewhat younger, because he seems, this could be Spencer because he got the hair and everything like that. So maybe when he got skewered, the virus brought him back to life. It could have did like Resident Evil 0, where Resident Evil 0, when James Marcus died, he was shot up. The leech fell in his mouth and it took over his body and he was rejuvenated. So maybe something like that happened. Like he died, came back. That the virus that Patrick and him worked on, it activated, and now we got a young Spencer. And then the other theory could be it could be Brandon Bailey. Kind of doubt it. I kind of feel like they would save that for the Resident Evil 10 or whatever. So because we got the BSAA plot line or cliffhanger at the end of Village. So they would probably continue that for 10 or put that in the movie. But if it is Brandon Bailey, it could help set up more or add more to that eventual conflict between Chris and Brandon Bailey, or Chris and the connections. So if this is Brandon Bailey, he is definitely trying to figure out something to do with whatever kind of virus he's trying to do. But I'm leaning more towards it being Spencer somehow. I think it I think it being Spencer is more likely than that guy in the raincoat being Wesker. Because like I said earlier, just to reiterate, Spencer and Patrick are working on some kind of virus to rejuvenate him. And then when he died, it probably triggered and he came back youthful. And he just stayed under the radar. And I don't know. He stayed under the radar. He came back to Raccoon City and he decided to work with the government in the ruins. I don't freaking know. But it could be Spencer. Or it could be Brandon Bailey. Or it could be just a random freaking person.
Special one, the chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
Now this got me because when I first saw this, I was like, why are they building a city next to the crater? Because if you look at Outbreak, I think it's file 2, file 1 or file 2, you'll know. If you know, you know. The city was blown up and then there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing. Pretty much every single building was either like obliterated, just splinters. And if you did see a building, it was like tipped over and it looked like it was it looked like a skeleton. There was no windows, no nothing. This looks pretty intact. Oh, for like the further away from the crater is very intact. So it's hard for me to believe that whatever happened in the new Resident Evil timeline or the new Resident Evil whatever they're doing, that this killed like all the zombies. Like if there's zombies in like this high rise over here, they're not dead. There's no way they're dead. And if there's any zombies in like the sewer system or whatever, there's nowhere they're dead. So I don't know, it's crazy. This looks like it didn't really do much of anything. But maybe it could be some kind of reconstruction. I don't freaking know. It's freaking weird. But I'm hoping it's some kind of like reconstruction somewhere.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices
I think that voice is Alyssa. The voice before him, I have no freaking clue.
down.
Or before her.
seen the same shit I've seen?
This kind of sounds like Carlos from 3 remake. But Carlos also played Nikolai. Carlos also played, I think he played like another character from a movie. I'm not sure. But if that is Carlos, that's crazy. I think Carlos should have been in the BSAA, but I'll save that for another video. I'm not going to get into that because I'll be talking for like 20 minutes.
Please know that you are my hope.
I think that's Alyssa talking to Grace when they're both about, or she's about to die. Maybe she thinks they're both about to die and she sacrifices herself for Grace or something.
Everyone's gone.
So we got the RPD, which is looks it's in pretty okay condition. Not you can fix this up in like a couple years. It's cool. But look how intact it is on the inside. And you played RE2. Ada pretty much said these things are damn near indestructible. And the bomb looked like it didn't really do much of anything if it's like further from the crater. So it's hard to believe that those zombies are dead. All right, so we got this thing. Now I know there's probably a million people saying this is Lisa Trevor, which there's no freaking way it's Lisa Trevor, because if you've played I'm pretty sure it's the Umbrella Chronicles, Wesker pretty much kills her. Not really, but he helped. He shot a chandelier. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he shot a chandelier, it fell on her, and it pinned her to a table on the upper floor of the Spencer mansion. Not in the lab area, but on top, the first floor. It just pinned her. And then the mansion went kaboom, like a humongous explosion. There's no way she's surviving a nuke like this. Not a nuke, but there's no way she's surviving that. She's durable because she's infected. She has a what do I like a primitive version of the G virus in her body. So she's durable, but she's not that durable. She's not surviving that. Not even Burr can survive that. So I think this thing right here is actually Alyssa. And you hear the chains again, and then you see it pop up. I'm pretty sure this is the same creature. And you see the hair. You see the hair looks like it's blonde. Could be blonde. Pretty sure that's blonde. But I'm pretty sure this creature, the creature that crawled down, and this is still that same creature. I'm pretty sure this creature is Alyssa. They experimented on her. Or maybe they took the blood from Grace, and then they did something, and then they injected Alyssa. They thought her daylight vaccine would do something to, I don't know, combat whatever the heck they're trying to do, and she ended up mutating. It worked in a way that I guess was good, but also bad, because Alyssa's blood, because she had the daylight vaccine, created this bioweapon by accident, even though it's not what they intended. I don't freaking know. But maybe that's why they want Grace again. Maybe they didn't even want Grace. When when this dude said special one, chosen one, he's probably not even talking about Grace. He's probably just talking about Alyssa. And turns out that Alyssa's blood wasn't special, and they need Grace or something. Maybe they don't even care about Grace. I don't know, but Grace is gonna deliver herself there anyway. So I don't know what's going on. But definitely, I think this thing is Alyssa. Some kind of experiment gone wrong. Requiem. So Requiem, I don't really know what that means exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's something about dead people, visiting the dead, something love letter to the dead, something like that. So it could just mean that um, that thing that I think is Alyssa, Grace is gonna kill it, and that's the Requiem part. I don't freaking know. I don't really know many rumors, anything about this as well, because like I said, I haven't been really looking into much Resident Evil stuff for a very, very, very long time. And if you've been following me since like Operation Raccoon City, I stopped doing rumors. I stopped listening to rumors or really looking into rumors around like, say, like 2013 or so.
Technical analyst on this.
Okay.
But those are my thoughts with the Resident Evil 9 trailer. So if you have anything you want to share or say, if I'm wrong about whatever, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll get with you guys in the comments down below. Please subscribe. It helps me a lot. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. So yeah, until next time, peace.